More polls have been coming out that have been pretty much everything Kamala Harris would like to see and nothing that Donald Trump would like to see any more of. And we're going to run through a lot of it. Now, there's good news in the swing states, good news in the national picture, good news in the individual issue evaluations of voters. And I have been told that Cenk thinks that it might not hold and has a prediction. So we will get to that. But first, let me set up the current situation as described by the polls. So if you take a look at this right here, we have Bloomberg, the swing state poll. So overall in the swing states, Harris is now up by 3 points. And you can see that breakdown with Georgia still being neck and neck. And that's obviously a state that if Harris wins, that's probably, that's the election right there. Some of them are pretty tight. North Carolina is just 2 points right there. She's probably getting an assist from Mark Robinson in that. But some of the states, I mean, you've got 3 points in Arizona, Michigan, Wisconsin, 5 in Pennsylvania. That's another one where if she wins that, then that's a very significant impact on the election. And Nevada's now at 7 points. So this is very significant. And again, overall 3 points in the swing states. Now, when you talk to swing state voters about the issues that are most important to them, no one will be surprised to find out that how they think the candidates will address the economy and inflation are very high up there on people's minds. Well, Harris has been drawing closer and closer on that evaluation over the last month or so. Trump's advantage on the issue of the economy is now 4 points. Just 4 points. It's been significantly higher. It was 50% higher just 1 month ago. And his advantage on the economy and I guess immigration, that's pretty much what he's got. So if that's his main weapon and it has now been 50% neutralized in just a month, that's not good for him. By the way, a related issue, when you ask people who likely voters trust to help the middle class, she's up 11 points on that one. That would be the next graphic. So That's related to an overall evaluation of how they do at the economy, but how they'll help people theoretically like you, that's very significant. And you can see overall in the changing picture of what people think about the candidates on the economy changing over time. And one of the big sort of meta criticisms of Harris was we don't know enough about what she's going to do. She's not really talking about her policies. They're not very detailed. You could sort of lump in, before we had the debate, we hadn't had that. She's not doing enough interviews. We just don't know her. Well, now, when you ask people who has detailed policy positions, 43% of likely swing state voters say that of Harris, just 40% for Trump. She's moved up 5 points in the last month. And so we can get into some of the other specific policy positions, but this is overall looking pretty good for Harris. What do you think?
Hey, don't scroll away. Come back. Because before the video continues, we just want to urge you to lend your support to TYT. You power our honest reporting. You do it at tyt.com/team, and we love you for it. This is as good as it's ever looked, and so should you be encouraged by these numbers? Definitely. These are comfortable enough that if the election were held today, she would win. And I could say that with good deal of certainty. So, and I haven't said that before, so like this just happened over the last week or so that I've been saying, yeah, I think she's got enough now that I'd want the election today. And these are even better than numbers from a week ago. So at this point, I mean, up to in North Carolina, doesn't mean you're going to win North Carolina, but it means you're definitely going to win Pennsylvania, Michigan, and Wisconsin that you need to win. So the reason is, and I go get that North Carolina's a little bit complicated because there's a literal Nazi running as a Republican candidate there that Donald Trump is still supporting. And a guy who literally said we should bring slavery back, that Donald Trump is still supporting, and a guy who said that women shouldn't be allowed to vote, that Donald Trump is still supporting. And the people in North Carolina know that a little bit better. I get all that, but having said that, and you see, that's why you get the odd situation where she's up by 2 in North Carolina, but tied in Georgia. Normally Democrats in the last couple of elections have been doing better in Georgia than in North Carolina. So all these factors are true, but she's up everywhere. And she's now beginning to be up in the swing states in a way that is near comfortable, not comfortable yet, near comfortable, okay? Now, having said all that, I think this is her peak. I hope to God, as always, I mean, I've said this a billion times on the show, I hope to God I'm wrong, and that she just keeps on going and landslides them. And that's not impossible. It's the reason it's possible because Donald Trump is spiraling. He's just saying crazier and crazier things. There's no end to how stupid he is and how maniacal he is. So every time he goes in front of a camera, he punches himself in the face like 8 times. I mean, today, we'll talk about it later again with that Mark Robinson guy who says he's a Nazi. Trump still hasn't unendorsed him. So I guess there are pretty good people on both sides according to Trump. Because
Cenk,
very literally right now supporting a Nazi. Very, very, very literally. Okay, we all know that Mark Robinson said he's a Nazi, and Trump has not pulled his endorsement. So, all right, I'm gonna get to why I think Kamala Harris actually might be in a little bit of trouble going forward, but JR.
that is what I was wondering, because I thought there was gonna be some skepticism as this polls. And John knows, man, when I was on his show, I hate polls. I hate polls. How are these polls conducted? Who's the one answering them? Is this on a rotary phone in your house? I don't know. Who's picking up the phone call for these? Maybe there's online polls. Again, I pay so little attention to polls, I don't even know how they conduct them to the degree that they make them as accurate as they can determine them to be. But again, the self-implosion of Donald Trump when he's proposing his tariffs and when he's proposing raising the price on so many goods in roundabout ways. This man went and was speaking and directly threatened John Deere because, we're a capitalistic society and companies do things like lay off workers and move some offices and manufacturing plants to other countries to make more money without paying people for it. Weird how that works. How can he get mad at John Deere and have a full proposal of a 200% tariff on your goods you can bring into our country? So he's barking these things. So the question is he gonna keep barking, which I think will help the vice president, or will he stop barking and then people go back to the same old nonsense without really listening to what's being said, assumption that, I should trust Trump on the economy more than I trust anyone else. You don't have to put another name as the verses. Donald Trump is telling us exactly why, along with other people that people say they trust, like, economists, that he's looking to destroy the economy, but he doesn't care if he knows what he's talking about, because when has that ever stopped him from saying things? So I'm not, I guess the shaky part might be, I'm not sure if she's getting this boost because people are listening to what they're proposing, but more because they're listening to what Donald Trump is proposing. That's the hard part. So he has to be the driver, I guess.
So JR, I think it's both. She looks stable and like a professional, etc., like a normal human being, whereas he looks like a deranged bozo. So, like, I know MAGA doesn't see it, but the rest of us see like him foaming at the mouth. And I mean, today he's like, I'm going to punish Google to the maximum if I'm in charge.
Crazy, man. He's
because
crazy.
Google hates me. Google. All right, and he's threatening.
I've always felt like Ask Jeeves was very unfair to me online.
Oh yeah, and
they deserve to be punished.
Yahoo Messenger, I'm going to arrest them and put them in prison, and MySpace as well if I get in office. Okay, anyway, this guy says I'm in favor of freedom of speech, but I don't like Google's search algorithm, so I'm going to arrest people at Google. He also threatened to arrest Mark Zuckerberg because he's for freedom of speech and freedom. No, he's a lunatic. And so, anyways, look, so him being a lunatic is part of it. She looks professional. But two more positive things that I promised the turn on Kamala Harris. So number one, the fact that she is trusted by the middle class is huge, because Trump was winning the populist fight, right? He's a giant fake phony populist, but he was saying that he was a populist and he was winning that fight for the middle class. And then Kamala Harris came in, picked Tim Walz, the price gouging, all that economically populist proposals totally worked and got the middle class on her side. If you remember, for the first 2 to 4 weeks, we were saying she was running a perfect campaign and that her numbers would go up, and boom, we were right, and her numbers went up. And then one last thing that's a positive, on the policy stuff, I can't stand this nonsense talking point on in media. Her policies aren't specific enough. No, she has a ton of policies and they're very specific. There's a bunch of places like healthcare where she doesn't have specific policies. That drives me crazy, we pointed out. But when you compare her to Trump's policies are like, drill baby drill. I asked you about housing, moron, right? Policy, he can't put two sentences together. So that buffoon doesn't know a single thing about policy. So what kind of absurd conversation are we having? Nevertheless, it's not who I'm going to vote for, it's who the American people are going to vote for. She's doing 3 things wrong. It went from a great campaign to right now, I think she's running a subpar campaign over the last 2 to 4 weeks, 2 to 3 weeks. So number one, not doing the interviews is so dumb. She does perfectly fine in the interviews. Tim Walz kicks ass in the interviews. Free Tim Walz, what are you doing? Yeah. We got the balls to the Walz t-shirt. I can't even wear it. No, everybody's like, who's Tim Walz?
Where are the balls?
I mean, where are the walls? Where are the walls?
Sorry, I meant walls.
Yeah. So guys, so that's a terrible strategy, because then you're taking your 2 main players off the battlefield. It's like saying, I got a great idea for winning this game. I'm gonna take my star quarterback and running back out of the game. Why? They're the ones who are supposed to make the case for why they're the better candidates than the other side. Taking them out is so dumb. It's classic old Biden campaign team. Okay, that's point one. Point two is she's now going, oh, neocons, I love them. Dick Cheney, oh, I'm so proud. Oh my God, disaster. Number three, oh, I'm so pro-business. Hey, Mark Cuban, go tell every CNBC anchor and MSN, pro-business, pro-corporations. Corporations are great. The crypto guys are great. Crypto's fantastic. APAC's fantastic. Defense contractors are fantastic. We're gonna kill everybody. Yeah, no. So let's see if I'm right or wrong again. But I think that these numbers are gonna dip because she's going in the wrong direction. And the thing that frustrates me so much, guys, last thing on this, why? You were going in the right direction and you picked up massively in the polls. Why did you turn around for no reason at all?
I know why.
Go ahead,
I know why. So similarly, like they said, the reasons that Donald Trump chose JD Vance. Anyway, the reason they chose JD Vance because he's like, yo, I'm high stepping to the end zone. I got 10 yards to go, and Joe Biden is passed out on the 50-yard line. So he's high stepping. I'll pick up this loser and head to the end zone. And then everything changed. Similarly, I think she's picked up this momentum. I mean, this isn't, again, Cenk, you ran a campaign. I think this is highly handled to where there's campaign professionals that are making a lot of these decisions about, yo, you don't have to go on any interviews. I mean, she's done some. And again, she does them well. That's the thing. These narratives about how well she and Walz can do in interviews they're wrong. They do well when they actually go to interviews. I did see the Stephanie Rule one. That was, she, that was a
look,
conversation.
it's okay to be mixed every once in a while. You're not gonna hit a home run in every interview, so what?
Fine, actually that shows how human a lot of folks are. But I think they felt this momentum happening and they said, let's not do anything to mess it up. So there's the fear. That's the classic Democratic move, is the fear of doing right so long that you stop doing the right moves because just in case you might mess up. So let's stop and continue to put it in cruise control. Maybe it'll work because, again, he keeps punching himself in the face. So let's just sit and watch him punch himself in the face. That's been the approach because why give them any ammunition?
Yeah.
I don't know if that'll work, but I think that's the reason that they're doing it.
Yeah, JR's 100% right. I mean, there's a couple of factors. They're playing prevent defense, but they're playing it in the third quarter. Oh, hold on. We got 2 quarters to go here. What are you doing? So if there was 4 days left before the election and somebody said, hey, should Kamala Harris do 12? She's got a 7-point lead nationally and she's winning the swing states. Should she do 12 major interviews right now? I'd say, no. 4 days left, let's coast, okay? Now we could play prevent defense. Now there's 40 seconds left, right? But now with 40 days left, you can't play prevent defense. JR, sorry. Also, the other thing that happened is she said price gouging, et cetera, and all of her donors roared back and said, how dare you declare you're pro-business? And she's like, okay, I'm pro-business. Donors, I'm pro-business, right? And that's the second factor.
So much money. They already
you already have the money. Yeah, just spend that money. You don't need that money. There's only 40 days left. If you did more interviews, you'd get way more in earned media than you would from the paid media from your beloved donors. Anyways, right now, things are good. I just don't want her to blow it. Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.